Today, I'm going to guide you through creating your own custom carrier oil pantry. So let's get started. Stocking your carrier oil pantry. We're going to think about different oils that can still fulfill all the types of oils that you can use to make skincare. That's why a custom collection. So we're a global community and access to carrier oils varies. And we can focus on building a collection that works directly for you, the oils that you have access to. We can keep it simple, 3 to 5 oils from each group. And I've broken these down into kind of general terms: foundation oils, delivery oils, and of course, the solid oils. Solid oils, of course, are the butters. This gives you a well-rounded pantry to cover skincare, infusing, and aromatherapy basics, because we always want to dilute our essential oils into a carrier oil. From there, you can customize further based on your personal focus, whether it's skincare, herbal oils and herbal infusions, or working with essential oils. So there's 3 types of these carrier oils, and you can call them lipid oils because they're oily, right? Foundation oils. These are generally shelf stable, liquid, usually neutral with not a lot of color and not a lot of scent. Now, these are high in bioactive compounds, nutrient dense. And then there's the solid oils, the plant butters. And this also includes, if you want to work with the animal fats, which they're quite popular in some groups, ghee, tallow, lard, any of those. And they are fundamentally the same structure as the plant butters. So each group requires slightly different storage conditions to keep your oils fresh and effective. Of course, oils come from seeds, the plant oils. I really love this list. I always try to find new lists of different types of what seeds are called, because not all of them are called seeds. So raspberries are very tiny seeds. And then we have huge seeds like cannonball type fruits from the tropics, or coconuts, right? Grains like oats and wheat, rice. There's oils that are made from the grains, legumes, beans, soybeans, peanuts. Another source of oils from legumes, nuts, walnuts, almonds, macadamia nut, even coconut you could put in that group. Kernels like apricot and peach, drupes. Now, olives are technically a drupe, as are cherries. So that's a little different type of seed. Pips, seeds, and apples and pears, those are classified as pips, but they too are seeds. Pits, fruits like avocado, sea buckthorn, and even some of the palms produce 2 oils: a hard inner kernel and a softer, very oily outer, sometimes called the mesocarp, sometimes called the fruit. So inside every single seed is the beginning of a brand new plant. And the oils we work with are the concentrated vitality from these seeds. So here's a picture to get you interested in these beautiful oils. We have our plants produce fruit. From the fruit we get seeds. And from those seeds, we can press oils. And so we're going to go through them: foundation, delivery, and then the solid butters. So as you build your custom carrier oil pantry, you're going to be able to customize skincare formulas that you make. You'll have lots of oils to choose from. So we're going to get started first with the foundation oils. So the shelf life of these oils, 18 to 24 months. And that's if they're stored appropriately. Always storage is a big part of these lipid compounds. They come from living organisms, whether plant or animal, and they're going to degrade over time. These foundation oils have a longer shelf life because they are high in monounsaturated fatty acids. Okay. And the storage recommendations are a cool and dark place. So these oils are stable at cool room temperatures for a good long while. And they might develop little white specks if they're subjected to really cold temperatures like winter, or you put them in the refrigerator. And those little white specks are not a problem. What has happened is some of the compounds in the oil, the fatty acids, have solidified because they have a low melting point. I've seen people worry that these oils have gone bad or something. All it is more oil at a cold temperature, and it's very normal. So these foundation oils are liquid at room temperature. They're neutral in color and scent, and nourishing and protective to the skin. These are the oils to use for herbal infused oils, putting leaves and flowers into oil and extracting the plant compounds into the oil. They're used as carriers for essential oils and bases for body oils, facial oils, serums, massage oils, salves, balms, cream formulations. You can even use any type of skincare formula with these oils. So 5 examples of foundation oils are olive. And of course, olive is such an ancient oil. It goes all the way back to Greeks and Romans, even before that. Wonderful healing oil. Camellia oil is a very neutral oil, but it's wonderful. It has a dry feel on the skin. Some oils are oily, right? As the name is, but some oils have quite a dry feeling, and you put it on your skin and it feels to absorb rapidly. Apricot kernel is a very gentle oil. Avocado, rich and wonderful properties in avocado oil. It's great for the skin. And meadow foam. Meadow foam is a little bit different oil. It has a little bit longer of those fatty acids I mentioned, and it gives it a great long shelf life. So that is the benefit of meadow foam seed oil. So now let's talk about your high value or delivery oils. The shelf life of these is a lot shorter, 6 to 12 months. And always with the right storage, you don't want to leave them out in the heat. They are sensitive to oxidation because they have polyunsaturated fatty acids. So there's more places to attract oxygen. The storage recommendations are cool and dark, but refrigeration is ideal for longer shelf life. Protect these from heat, light, and air exposure. So the high value oils, they're liquid at cold temperatures. There's even some that are so polyunsaturated, they stay liquid in the freezer, but that's a rare. What happens with oils when they get very cold is they'll get viscous, not so liquid. Warm them up and they're back to normal. These oils contain bioactive compounds like antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, tannins, flavonoids, often colorful, reds, oranges, golden yellows, and greens in these oils. They are light feeling on the skin, fast absorbing, and wonderful for nourishing the skin. They're good for facial oils and serums. Formulations are for targeted skin nourishment and repair. And there's a lot of these high value oils have the 2 essential fatty acids, which are very important for maintaining the skin's natural health. They enhance the healing fraction of blends with their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory support. So 5 examples of delivery oils are, I have them grouped as the GLA oils, and that's this particular fatty acid, gamma-linolenic acid, that is highly anti-inflammatory. And this includes evening primrose, borage, and black currant seed oil. Now, cranberry seed oil is wonderful because it just feels very delicious and silky on the skin, very nourishing. Rosehip seed oil is wonderful because it can overcome and cure scar tissue, scarring. It can make the scar tissue appear less prominent. Oils for skin condition, eczema, and that sort of skin eruptions. Hemp seed oil is highly nourishing with some really unusual fatty acids in addition to those two essential fatty acids I just mentioned. So, passion flower seed oil is used for insomnia and nervous tension and all. And so, some of those properties that are calming in the herb come through into the oil. So, it's a very calming oil to use for someone who needs to be calmed. So, now we can look at choosing solid oils, the butters. The butters have a 1 to 2 year shelf life, and occasionally with the very hard butters, it can even be longer. These are naturally more stable than our previous two, foundation and delivery, due to because they're predominated by saturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids don't have a lot of points where oxygen can attach. So these are stored, like all of them, cool and dark, because that's how we store oils. But butters and tallow are more resistant to oxidation, but they still benefit from this cool and dark storage. Part of the reason is no oil or butter is 100% saturated. Minor unsaturated fractions, being storage, care, still matters, because those parts that aren't saturated can, in time, take up oxygen. So the solid butters, texture and feel, they can be solid, they can be very hard, they can be smushy because of the makeup of the different types of saturation. They can be dry feeling or emollient, and this is going to vary with their nature, with their carbon chain length and their properties. They originate in the tropical parts of the world. Some of these butters and the tropical oils can be fruity, mild, or very distinctive, like we have with cocoa butter, which is where we get chocolate from. So the butters are great for balms, whipped butters, salves, and protective skincare formulations, because saturated fatty acids tend to be very protective for the skin. Blending with liquid oils for richer, more resilient products is part of why we use them. And traditional skin nourishment and protection across all cultures. People, especially in the tropics, you need protection from the environment. So 5 natural butters are shea butter. It's very common and wonderful for the skin, wonderful properties. Comes from Africa. Now, coconut oil is used from everything from cooking to skincare. Coconut oil melts on contact with the skin, which is why I think it's so popular. Mango butter has a dry feel on the skin. Wonderful. Cocoa butter. Now, this is a very hard butter. Cocoa butter can have a very long shelf life past the 2 years that I mentioned, but it needs to be melted to be used with oils and the other butters. Beautiful, rich butter from the tropical region. And then I have 5 natural butters and a plus. The plus is referring to the animal fats like tallow, lard, and ghee, which are the same basic structure of saturated fatty acids as the plant butters. So I made this emoji list for you so you can imprint it in your mind. Light, that's what's going to degrade your oils the quickest. Heat, that's right up behind light. And then air, oil exposed to too much air, the oxygen is more able to attach to the unsaturated fatty acids and cause problems. And then, of course, time. We can't control time, so let's keep track of the light, the heat, and air that will affect our oils. So we can talk again a little bit of shelf life, again by group. It's so important to store them properly. Cool and dark, I thought I was going to say that a lot, is ideal for all oils and butters. And the foundation, 18 to 24 months. Cool and dark, maybe some of these oils can be left out if you live in a cool environment, and a dark refrigerator or wine cellar. Those conditions is what we're talking about. High value oil, 6 to 12 months. Refrigeration is ideal for any kind of extended shelf life for these because they're so susceptible to oxidation. And then the solid butters, tallow, 2+ years. These are naturally more stable, but we still want to protect any parts of them that fall into the unsaturated group of fatty acids. So that is how we look at shelf life.